You gutted him like a fish in that apartment, too. You were relentless. You stabbed, you stabbed, you stabbed, you stabbed, you stabbed until he was dead.
There's so many people I know that if you told them the facts, they want to break your neck.
I didn't mean to kill Oscar. Ashley, I really didn't. I really think I did that. I didn't mean to hurt him.
What could drive a teenager to commit a crime so severe that they're sentenced to life in prison? Today, we're diving into some of the most shocking cases involving young people whose actions left lasting scars on victims, families, and communities alike. These stories reveal the stark reality of lives changed forever by acts of violence, careless mistakes, and life-altering decisions. Join us as we unpack these intense courtroom moments and the fates of those involved. And if you find these stories compelling, don't forget to like, subscribe, and press the bell icon so you never miss another video. In one haunting case, a teenager faced the courtroom after being convicted of a brutal murder that involved the disposal of a victim's body in a desperate attempt to escape justice. The callousness with which the crime was committed left the courtroom in stunned silence, and when the final sentence was read, life in prison without parole, there was a sense of closure mixed with disbelief. This young person's journey from high school student to convicted murderer highlighted the drastic consequences of violent decisions.
The defendant violently Colleen Ritzer, who viciously, brutally, and senselessly attacked Colleen in the girls' bathroom just feet from the classroom.
Likewise, the case of Philip Chism stands out as a particularly disturbing one. Chism, a teenage boy, shocked his community with the brutal murder of his math teacher, Colleen Ritzer. His actions appeared unfathomable for someone his age, and the trial that followed became a grim reminder of how deeply disturbing some crimes can be. His life sentence echoed the community's sorrow and outrage, ensuring that he would face the full weight of the law.
This was not reckless driving. This was murder.
In yet another heartbreaking story, the courtroom saw two teenagers convicted of a double murder involving their own friends. McKenzie Sherill, a teenage girl, intentionally crashed her car, leading to the deaths of both her boyfriend and another close friend. As she faced the judge, her expressions fluctuated between regret and anger, leaving everyone questioning her motives. The court found her guilty, sentencing her to a long prison term as families grieved the loss of young lives taken far too soon.
The local teen was beaten, shot, mutilated, burned into ashes, and his remains sunk to the bottom of a local quarry.
Not all cases in the courtroom were premeditated murders. Some were tragic outcomes of moments of recklessness and poor choices. In South Carolina, a teenager was charged with murder after a wrongful killing that took place during a heated confrontation. While the defendant claimed it wasn't planned, the evidence suggested otherwise, and the jury found him guilty. His life sentence was a stark reminder of how one impulsive decision could forever alter the lives of everyone involved. The anguish of teenagers receiving life sentences for their crimes was another powerful theme across these cases. In one instance, a young girl's irrational reaction to an unexpected pregnancy led to a crisis that ended with a shocking and heartbreaking discovery: an abandoned newborn in a dumpster, captured on CCTV. The footage became a key piece of evidence, leaving the court horrified by the lack of remorse shown in her initial reaction. As the judge handed down the sentence, the weight of the consequences for both her and her newborn's life became painfully clear. In another trial, the courtroom witnessed a group of teenagers react to life sentences for a brutal murder that had devastated their high school and local community. The crime itself, an attack on one of their own classmates, was senseless and violent. As they faced their sentences, some showed visible remorse, while others appeared detached. It was a tragic reminder of how youth, combined with poor decisions, can lead to catastrophic consequences that echo far beyond the immediate families involved. Then came the case of Jamu Hayden, a teenage killer who, after being convicted, sat emotionless as he received his sentencing. Hayden's crime had been particularly violent, and his lack of visible regret disturbed many in the courtroom. His actions served as a dark example of how deeply ingrained violence can be, even in the young, leaving everyone in the courtroom questioning what had led him down such a destructive path.
The local teen was beaten, shot, mutilated, burned into ashes, and his remains sunk to the bottom of a local quarry.
Among the cases were also teenage killers who faced not only life sentences, but, in some instances, the possibility of a death penalty. In these instances, the severity of their crimes prompted the justice system to consider the ultimate punishment. While controversial, the deliberation over such a sentence for young defendants highlighted the weight of their actions and the sense of justice sought by the victims' families. Another heartbreaking story involved a group of teenage friends who committed a brutal murder and attempted to cover their tracks by hiding the evidence. They later showed apparent shock when the court convicted them and handed them life sentences. This case, like so many others, demonstrated how lives can be forever altered by a single, irreversible decision. As they left the courtroom, their expressions of disbelief were perhaps the only indication of the gravity of what they had done. Even more shocking was the story of a teenage killer who responded to his sentencing with a detached demeanor, seemingly unaffected by the life sentence he'd just received. This case struck a nerve with everyone watching, as it left an unsettling question in the air. What could lead someone so young to show such a lack of emotion for such a serious punishment? The life sentence he received was a reminder of the gravity of his actions and the irreversible impact on his victim's family. The consequences for these teenagers were severe, and each case demonstrated how deeply a single act could affect countless lives. One teenager, in a particularly memorable case, faced the court after committing a murder that involved the cruel and deliberate disposal of the victim's body. His reaction to the life sentence, shock and disbelief, was a chilling reminder of the reality awaiting those who commit such heinous acts. The court made its decision, emphasizing that justice would be served, even for those as young as him. As these cases show, the courtroom is a place where choices are laid bare, and the weight of those choices can be life-altering. The emotional roller coaster felt by everyone involved, from the defendants and their families to the victims and the jury, is an intense experience, bringing to light the complexity of both justice and redemption. If these intense courtroom stories had you on edge, make sure to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and press the bell icon for more stories that uncover the raw realities of the legal system. Let us know in the comments which case shocked you the most and why. Stay tuned for more insights into the drama, the pain, and the moments of clarity that fill the courtroom.